with me, I have Melisha Green Frederick. She has completed her LPN with us here at ECPI University and more recently has completed her ADN, getting her registered nursing degree with us in October of 2023. Melisha, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to go ahead and get into the questions, learn more about your experiences here at ECPI and your career now. So we'll start with what you are doing now. So where are you currently working? What's your role?
So I'm currently working at CHKD in Norfolk. My role, I'm a RN. I work on a neurodevelopment unit, and it's with children that have autism as well as traumatic brain injuries. So I basically do a lot of assessments. I speak to family, also case managers, and I also collaborate with the interdisciplinary team. I also do some part-time work with Maxim Healthcare, and that's basically doing pediatric private duty, where it's children that have congenital, they're born with congenital disabilities, and I love it.
Great, thank you. And can you tell us like the time frames that you've been with each company? Like how long have you been working there?
Yeah, so I've been with Maxim now going on a year. With CHKD, I just started CHKD in February. So I'm currently with them. I love both companies, and I'm just going to continue.
Yeah. And let's go back to before you enrolled in your LPN program at ECPI. Why nursing?
So I've always wanted to be a nurse, but after losing my mother-in-law when COVID hit, I just had to be a nurse. Just seeing what the nurses were doing, how they were empathetic, they really was just, I don't know, unbelievable. I was just surprised to see how comforting they were and how they helped me and my family. So I told my mother-in-law that I was gonna be a nurse because of how I saw her care was being conducted, and she told me to do it. So I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your mother-in-law. I'm very happy for you for getting through your nursing programs and you're now working as a nurse and you kind of fulfilled that promise you made to her. So that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So out of curiosity, why did you choose ECPI as your school?
Well, I always saw like the commercials, always saw like the ads and everything. And then I spoke to an individual. Her name was Molly, I think Molly or Holly, I can't remember, but she was on the commercial. And she was like, you should go. And this was like years ago. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking about it. So after coming visiting the campus, seeing everything that the school had to offer as far as the interactive labs, the one-on-one with the instructors, the small class size, and the clinicals. I said, this is real good. Even though it's fast paced, I mean, the school is phenomenal. Like I was able to leave ECPI and was able to get into the workforce. I was able to use those skills that I received from ECPI. So I mean, it's a phenomenal school, phenomenal. So I would tell anyone, go to ECPI. You will not regret it at all.
That's awesome. And it's so cool to hear that you heard about us through commercials. You talked to someone that was in the commercial. And fun fact, you were recently filmed for a commercial for us. So now you get to be that face for others.
Right.
And you did a great job with that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you graduated from the ADN program, what was the process like going into your career? How did you get that job after you graduated?
So I know ECPI, you all have where your last semester where you are getting ready to graduate, You have a program set up where employers come in, they view your resume, you have a, you meet with those employers, they go over your resume, and actually you get a job on the spot, which is a plus at ECPI because you don't hardly, get that too many places. And then they even follow up with you afterwards to see if you still, want to come in, maybe job shadow, or just come in and just, go over some more things about the job. But I've had a really, really good experience, and some of my peers and individuals that's still in the program, they are now, getting jobs and doing well. So I love what you guys offer at ECPI. It is amazing, amazing. So
I think that it's always so great to hear when our graduates are getting job offers before they even graduate. Obviously contingent on a few things like the NCLEX and things like that. But nursing's in demand too.
right.
So going on to more of like the advice that you've given to current students that are in the program, what's that one piece of advice that you like to give people who are going through the program at ECPI?
So you're going to have your ups and downs. That's life. Just don't give up. Study, be around positive individuals, do your best at everything. Put everything that you have into it. I know that you may get tired. Just keep pushing towards the end because you will see the benefits at the end. Promise. That is so true.
That's great advice. I go to the pinning ceremonies sometimes here, and it's always just so heartwarming to see them all standing up there, and they all just know that they put so much hard work into this, and they finally reach this moment where they get pinned and they have their lamp, and it's just such a very emotional moment.
Yes. Yes. It is because you've worked so hard. Some people, like with me, I was working, still going to school, still making my clinicals, still making lab, and the instructors, they understand, they work with you. But it's when you finally light that lamp, it is, I don't know, it's just you get so many emotions going through
Yeah,
you. So I understand from going through it why, so many
yeah,
people, may break down crying or whatnot,
yeah,
but it's very, very rewarding.
yeah. So let's talk about the NCLEX. That's after you complete your program, you're a graduate nurse, and now you're preparing to take this big test that is so, your career is contingent on it. Can you give any advice for people that are about to go take their NCLEX, how to prepare, or maybe what to expect?
Um, the NCLEX, of course, they have the next gen NCLEX now. Study, like I'll say 3 months prior to you leaving the program, study. Do it in sections. I did mine by body systems. And then do at least, I'll say 95 to 100 questions every single day. Even if you have to break it up where you do a certain amount of questions the first part of the day and so on, that is the best way, and you will be successful in passing the NCLEX. I know ATI is good to use. I use ATI and I use UWorld, and very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. I was able to break down the questions, understand what it's asking, um, use all the different test strategies that ECPI taught me. And I was successful in passing the NCLEX. But it's all about reading those questions, understanding what you're reading so that you're able to answer that question,
Yeah,
answer those questions.
yeah. So what classes, like if you could look back and you look at your career now and what you do with your hands every day and what you think about, what classes do you think about often in your career? Like, are there classes that have prepared you the most for your career that you use the most, or all of them? Or
I'll say all of them, because all your classes is kind of like a stair, a steps rather, I should say. So they build upon each other.
yeah,
So yeah, I would have to say all of them, because you're being in nursing, you're going to have to use your leadership skills, conflict management. You're going to have to use, your assessment, med surge, mental health, everything that you learn in nursing, you will use it, everything.
yeah.
So yeah.
So you started with your LPN, right? And then you did the bridge program from LPN to ADN. What made you want to make that jump to RN?
Well, I mean, I love, after being in the LPN program and just learning everything about nursing, I immediately wanted to get back in. So I don't know, I pushed myself to go back, and I learned more, as being an RN, and that transition, because there's certain things that an LPN can do and that an RN can do. So just learning that, and just having those leadership skills and managerial skills, being an RN, I had to do it. Like I had
Yeah,
to, and I'm glad that I did it, because there is so many opportunities being an RN,
yeah,
and I'm glad. And then, even from that, there's still other opportunities
yeah.
available.
Speaking of that, you are very busy at the moment. You not only have two jobs, but you are currently enrolled in our BSN program right
Yes,
now.
yes,
And you're taking that online, correct?
that is correct.
How's that
Yes.
going?
It's going pretty well. You have certain projects that's due.
Yeah.
It's manageable though. It's manageable. Um, the instructors are amazing. They communicate with us through Zoom.
Mhm.
They even have, drop-in hours. We can come drop in on a Zoom meeting, talk about things that's going on in the class. They work with you as well. So I am glad that I chose ECPI for the BSN program. It's just been a good experience, like all the way through. Like I don't have any complaints at all.
Yeah. And you haven't stopped. You went LPN, ADN, BSN. You're doing one right after the other. Why
Right.
why the BSN now?
Well, it's time. Time is ticking.
Yeah.
So I decided to get back in. I know a lot of the hospitals are magnet. So you have to have your BSN within, some companies is 2 to 3 years,
Oh,
some
really?
4. Yes, yes. So I was like, well, you know what? It's online. Hey, I can manage doing that and working. So I did it. I'm almost done. I'm graduating August of 24.
There you go.
Right.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Melisha. I really appreciate your time. I know you're very busy, so any time that you have to give back to ECPI is very appreciated. I hope
Thank
you
you.
have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you as well.